to Moon Patrol, Part 4 of Rebuild, Restore, Repair, Refurbish. Whatever you want to call it. If you happen to be swinging by for the first time, or maybe even a return customer, and you haven't subscribed yet, I'd highly appreciate if you did. Help grow the channel. Alright, this tube right here is my old Operation Wolf tube. So I measured the yoke and I get 13.5 on the vertical and 3.0 on the horizontal. Now you can see I got a fat neck tube here, and they're all nice and neat. Probably nice phosphor and no burns. And I get 15 ohms on the vertical, and in between 3.3 and 2.6 on the horizontal, depending on how long I hold the leads on there. So I'm going to call that 3. So I think it's close enough that I'm going to take this in the house, and I'm going to take the back off of it and get the K7000 fat neck chassis and have a look over it. Maybe put some caps in it and a flyback if it needs it, and see if it'll run this tube. If not, I guess I'll have to try one of these other ones. So this is my TV farm. If you can't tell, there might be a 19 there, but a lot of my 19s are skinny necks, so I don't know how many fat neck ones I have. I just remember this one was. Sorry anyone that collects CRTs. These cases don't mean crap to me, so yeah, I destroy them. Okay. So I got this K7000. It's a fat neck K7000 19-inch. And I know nothing about it. All I got was, I believe my wife bought me this off Facebook. Off somebody in Texas that was getting rid of a whole bunch of stuff. And she scored a couple 25-inch K7000 yokes with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically check all the diodes, all the main resistors in here, and the voltage regulator and the HOT. Same thing Mike does on his channel. He's the one that taught me from his channel. So some of these feel really super loose, so I'm gonna have to check them for you know, broken joints, because I'm pretty sure that they may be, and they really do look like it. Somewhere. Well, anyways, I'll be checking this stuff. I'm basically probably just gonna put a brand new cap kit and flyback on it, and put it on that tube and hope like hell it works. Alright guys, so right off the bat the fuse is blown. I look back here, there's a trace blown off right here. Classic not hooking this up to an isolation transformer. These two traces I've seen blow right off the board, and that's what happened there. And that's why you got a ground wire from here over to here, making this trace complete again. This did pop out of here, out of the board, so that'll have to be resoldered back into the vertical size. These caps are so loose. Look at this. Here's cold solder joint, guys. So let's see if I can get it zoomed in. patient. Let me zoom in. Maybe that'll help you see it right there. Look at that. That's somebody's solder job. Because I don't think these caps are factory. And this ain't the only one that's loose like this. Here was a repair right here. R101, I believe. So I'm going to go through this chassis. I'm going to straighten it all up the best that I can. And like I said, I'll hope like hell it works. Okay guys, so I've already pulled the what the hell cap that is called. I can't think. But I've resoldered some bad things that I've seen. I'm going to need to replace diodes D20 and D21. They're open. Everything else seemed to test okay. I did not check the HOT. I have to do that yet. But everything else other than that, I just saw that and I'm like, shit, I didn't do that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and completely decap this board. And then I'll probably wash the board and go over it with a my magnifying glass and check for any broken or anything that needs repaired. And then I'll put the new caps in and new flyback and the new diodes and maybe try to fire it up on that tube. 0.436 on each leg of the diode. Black on the center, red on each side. 0.436. So C57. Hope you can see. Oh, where the hell is it? Completely busted pad. So that'll have to be repaired. Okay. R101 is completely lifted. I don't know if that lifted or it just came unsoldered. Like cold solder joint type thing. And then on this side, Jesus, I need better camera for focusing up close. It's all fuckered up right there too. I'm gonna have to get my glasses. Well guys, for some reason my power went out. But I've tried to put all the caps in. Got a couple left over here. I'm not quite sure if I missed them or if this was a pack for with the 612 PCB on top, so these may just be extras. But I really can't see that well because like this is the amount of light I have and it gets kind of dark. Well, we're on pause. Alright guys, new B plus filter cap, new fuse, D20 and D21 is replaced, all the caps are replaced, the board was washed, new flyback. These pots, man, see how some of them are rusted? I don't know if these are really going to work. I sprayed them with electrical cleaner and lubricant and got them broke free and they move, but whether they're making contact or not, honestly don't know. That may be an issue. Reflowed all of the header pins. Took the 3 transistors out, cleaned it up. There was a broken pad because one of them was really loose and wobbly. So there's that. Replace that cap. These are stiffer than hell. I mean, I might end up needing all new pots for this entire chassis. I have no idea. But I lubricated them. They're a bit more free now, so I'm gonna give them a try. I am going to put the appropriate end on here. Get rid of this crud right here. That's my next thing I'm working on. Then in a little bit, I forget, which one does this get? The male or the female one of these? I don't know. I have to try to see if I can find a photo of something somewhere. I think it gets the female end, right? Anyways, I'll figure that out. I'm going to get my son to bring in the tube, and we'll see if it works out. Alright guys, got this pinned so I can put the appropriate plug on. Going to get that tube here in a few minutes. Hope it works, brothers. Alright guys. Looks like Phillips screws. I can do that. Okay. So I managed to cut apart the original yoke connector off this tube and put it down there on the pins. Once I see that it works, I can, pin it the proper way on one of these. Got the DeGauss cable hooked up. That's the factory plug, so it works perfect. I'm going to put an eyelet here on the CRT ground. Maybe. I'm going to solder it, heat shrink it. It'll connect here with the ground to the neck board. Got the power wire on. Got my transformer over there and my test pattern generator. I gotta hook up the anode. I think I might be ready to fire this up and hope like hell that it can deflect properly and that my pots aren't destroyed from being rusted. Alright, now I can say for 100% certain that this chassis did not run when I got it with D21 and 20 blown out. The fuse was blown, many cold solder joints, broken pads, broken pad on the neck board where color transistor is. These pots were frozen stiff. I don't even know if they're going to work. These pots were really super stiff. I have them all centered. So I'm going to turn on my test pattern generator. It's on standard res. And, well, I'm going to turn off my overhead lamp here. And I'm going to turn off that lamp. So there's the fuse. Yep, here's the moment of truth, guys. Heard high voltage. I got an image, but it's shaking. It could be due to pots. I can't do this all together here, guys, so I'm going to try to work on this. Alright guys, you see the horizontal width coil? I've got that almost all the way out and it still isn't wide enough. So I'm thinking that big poly cap right there is the one I need to change. I think so. I don't know for a fact. I think I'm gonna need to get me some new pots because for some reason when I'm touching these, the actual focus goes in and out. If I wipe them back and forth, it comes back, which makes absolutely no sense to me. And when I turn up and down the green, drive and cutoff really doesn't do anything. So I need to put a different cap in there so then I can narrow it down with the width coil. The yoke is also going to need slightly turned. It's a pinch off. Other than that, I think it might work out. It's just I'm going to have to work out some of the bugs in this chassis. If that makes sense. It does to me. I think I can get it going. So I'm going to go ahead and pecker around with this for a little bit longer. Probably change that width coil so I can see if I can get the width problem solved. Yeah, 50-60 hertz is pretty good. So I'm going to work on it, guys. I'll let you know what I do. Alright guys, this has been out here one whole day running. Some sort of like bird or something right there. But anyways, the TV I have, I kept putting smaller and smaller caps on C38 to widen the image. I got down to a 0.015 UF cap. I got it well wider than what this is, but it still wasn't filling the entire screen of my test board anyways. Okay guys, so I went down to a 10.010 UF cap, and now when I try to widen or anything, it starts folding in on the side. So I've exhausted the smaller cap idea. So what I think it really needs is a yoke that has a little less, a little less resistance. Maybe instead of a 3.3, like a 2.3, 2.5. That'll draw more current, I believe, and force the image outward. It's just my theory. I don't know how it's worked. It's just how I think of it, I guess. So I'm going to go test a few. I have another 19-inch fat neck. I just looked. And I'm going to go test the yoke on that. And hopefully it's a little bit closer to 2.5 on the horizontal. Now the 15 ohms vertical works out okay. But I need something a little bit less on the horizontal. Alright guys, I think I'm going to end this part 4 of all this monitor debacle. I got that chassis to work. As you know, this is a large neck. If I get some energy, I might still do this, but I got 2 pinouts of these neck boards. This is the small neck board. This is the large one. This is the pins that correspond to the large neck board, so I'd have to like cross wires and all kinds of stuff like that, because this is pin 3 over here, so it would need connected to right here, so it's completely across from it. And pin 4 goes up here, and then pin 5. So all these would have to be coming over here, and these ones going over there. So I was going to do that with this, just for shits and giggles and put this on a small neck tube. But I've contacted a few people I know, and Peter from Arcade Parts and Repair, because he has some boards to, you know, populate to make it a small neck. I'm still waiting back for an answer. The reason why I want to use a small neck is because all the small necks that I have, the yokes are a lot more compatible than what this one was. And I can get my width that I need. I've tried changing the C38 capacitor. I got it pretty close at one point in time. So I dropped one more range, and then it made it so it could be wide enough, but one side was folding over on itself and would never go all the way over because it was folding in on itself. So I've reached my limit with the C38 capacitor. So the only thing I can really do is put a C38 cap in there that's a lot more closer to what the original is, and then just try a small neck tube. I checked, I have two other tubes that are fat neck 19s, and well, one's just the same as this and the other one is way off. So later, if I feel like it, I may bring the PCB board in from Moon Patrol and actually hook to this tube and chassis and see that if the game actually itself is a little bit wider and I can fill the tube out, because then if I can, then I will just use this setup. But I'm starting to think that it's probably not going to happen. Now, I will keep these fat neck tubes because, well, the one that's in Moon Patrol is a fat neck tube, and it can be yoke swapped and stuff like that for that chassis. I don't know a whole lot about those chassis, so that's why I try to stay with 7000s and stuff like that, because I've consumed enough information that I feel very comfortable diving into one of these. So, let's just say I know enough to get my ass in deep trouble, but I can also get myself out. Okay, so I'm gonna order new pots for everything because these things are just frozen stiff. And I guess I have no choice but to start the body work now, guys. I've exhausted all my stuff, so sorry this part was so long. So like, subscribe, share, shit like that. Alright, peace.